Hey! We're back with another video, and today we're going to be reacting to abortion. It's an abortion debate. I'm curious, Michael Knowles. We'll listen to both sides. Abortion. Let's get it. He's battling basically a college student on abortion. So let's see where this goes. And throw in our little 2 cents. Subscribe, turn on post notifications. Smash that like button. For crying out loud. No, I always got to ask. Let me move this out the way so y'all know I'm talking to y'all directly. Smash that freaking like button. I don't know why that like button ain't smashed. I don't know why. But I need you to smash that like button. I really do. Let's hop right into it. Let's get it. Let's go.
You keep defining abortion as the murder of babies, which biological fact is you would say most abortions are done before they are actually babies. It's still just a fetus. So my question...
Do you know what the word fetus means?
It's just a cluster. A zygote developing into a baby eventually.
The word fetus, it's a Latin word, and it just means offspring. That's all it means. It just means the next generation of a being. So, but that's what a baby is also.
I think that's really irrelevant to the conversation and very interesting language to use. I want you guys to know when it comes to the abortion conversation, the only thing that sways audiences when it comes to it is the specific language that you use to describe what's going on. And I really find it interesting when the right uses language like baby in order to talk about something that's happening medically, right? However, though, technically it is a baby, but they use it. But the way they use it is what I'm weirded out about. Like, they use it in order for people to feel the emotion of the mother making that kind of a decision for herself, when in actuality it should be up to the mother to make that decision for herself, because it's part of her body, in my opinion. That's my opinion, but he may sway me over in this conversation. I don't know. I just know, when they use the word baby, just as well as when the other side uses the term fetus. When they use the term fetus, they use fetus to describe something so it's less emotionally connected to the patient. I remember there was some girl that was talking about that when I was watching it, and I think that's kind of snakish too. So you'll call it a baby if the mother wants to have the child, but you'll call it a fetus if the mother doesn't. The whole conversation is just weird when it comes to abortion. It is. It gets really, really weird. It gets really weird because there's really no right or wrong answer to it. There really isn't.
That's what you would call your adult child someday once he's grown, hopefully, if he hasn't been...
Can I ask my question?
Well, I'd just like to clarify this point. You would call your adult child your offspring too, but all of these terms that you might use, fetus, embryo, the one they love is zygote, which sounds like a Pokemon, but they use all these different terms, but it's all referring to the same being, and you were that being once. You, the person who's standing here right now.
Do any of us have a memory of being that being?
No, I don't have a memory of last Thursday, frankly. It's been a very busy week, but the lack of a memory doesn't mean it's all right to murder me.
Well, anyway.
What she's trying to refer to is the fact that consciousness is... because that's interesting. I think she's trying to say that consciousness consciousness isn't there yet. It's interesting. But I've heard that in the womb, the baby feels every second of that shredding. I heard that. This is a deep conversation.
Right, so my question is, you stress murdering babies a lot, but when it comes to murdering babies, kids, and everything in everyday shootings that keep happening, you say nothing. So I ask, why is it okay to murder babies when it's regulating women but not regulating guns?
No, I say quite a lot about that, actually. I think the crime is a terrible problem, and I think it's just awful that liberals have funded and intentionally installed liberal DAs who won't prosecute violent criminals. This has led to an increase in violent crime, and it's awful.
You dodged her question. She asked specifically about guns, which is something that you can't talk about. You're dodging her question right now. Why are you so worried about women and the babies, but you're not worried about the guns that are harming the people in the communities? It's a great question. This is the contradiction between both sides. The right doesn't want to eliminate guns because they're afraid that at some point the government may become too tyrannical, and they want to have their Second Amendment to be able to defend themselves, but also don't seem to care about children that get gunned down. However, though, they constantly debate about babies actually coming into the world. Whereas in the left, believes in unaliving, basically unaliving babies, right? I'll just say it what it is, but like they believe in unaliving babies, but they don't believe in the shootings. They don't believe that people are having guns and shootings of the kids in Chicago or places like that. Or, I don't know. Actually, I don't see this. The contradiction isn't the same on the left, but it's similar. Like, they don't believe in the death penalty. I'll say that. They don't believe in the death penalty, but they believe in abortion. It's just, both sides are weird.
I totally oppose that, but it's not me, and it's not.
That's what I meant to say. The death penalty.
My side that's funding that sort of thing. Now, you say, why wouldn't I want to regulate guns? Guns are very regulated in the United States as it is, and I've yet to hear one gun control proposal that would stop any of these shooting incidents that people talk about. People focus on the sensationalized ones from the news, a school shooting or a movie theater shooting. No proposed gun control legislation of the last 30 years would have stopped any of those. And the majority...
Well, a blanket gun ban definitely would, but they wouldn't allow that. Gun buyback programs have seemed to be effective in some ways. Definitely regulating the type of... the boyfriend causation I heard about, because I hear most boyfriends are the ones that end up being the ones to gun down their girlfriends. So if you ever had domestic violence in your history, you can't purchase a firearm. More effective background checks. I mean, there's a lot of things that you could do. I'm not scrap the blanket gun ban, but there's a lot of things you can do besides a blanket gun ban that could actually be more effective. Regulate from the states that have laxer gun laws on the states that have stricter gun laws, is where the laxer gun law states bring those stricter gun laws, bring those guns to the stricter states. So this whole gun conversation is definitely different. I want to have a firearm. I believe in having a firearm, but I do believe there could be better regulation on it. I definitely do. I see her point. When it comes to the contradiction between what he's saying and what he believes in.
The shootings are gang-related, and they're handgun shootings, and so I'm all for cracking down on those gangs and throwing them all in the can, but it's usually the liberals telling me that we have to abolish the police and go soft on crime, and, they were just failed by society, and so we can't put them in prison, and we have to abolish the prisons too. That's not me. I'm all for it. You want to get me a bill, you want to elect me to office and get a bill in front of me that will crack down on gang crime and these gangsters using handguns to kill kids, let's do it. I'd sign that in 2 seconds, but it's not up to me, unfortunately. It's up to the side that I suspect you would consider yourself to be on.
No, it's up to a side that you're often a part of, and even if it's not you specifically, it's your friends and the people you support that just continue to, it's just, you aren't considering both sides, and how, saying one thing can just contradict the other thing.
How do you think I've done that?
By saying you're murdering babies, blah, 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 just over and over again, but just not mentioning any of the babies being murdered every single day in shootings that haven't even made it to major news outlets because they're so common.
No, well, that wouldn't be a contradiction or a hypocrisy. I'm focusing on one particular issue called abortion, but I actually mentioned in the speech tonight that specifically on the issue of black people being murdered, 10,000 black people are murdered every year with guns and knives and hammers and the like. But 242,000 black people, at the very least, are murdered through abortion. So that would seem to be a more pressing issue, but I brought it up. I'm all for trying to reduce the murder rate. Unfortunately, liberal DAs are not allowing us to do that. So, you're more than welcome to convince your fellow liberals to stop funding these people and to start a...
And clearly conservatives, too, because Trump didn't want to do anything with abortion. He said he didn't. He talked about it, 3rd trimester abortions, that's it. But he didn't want to get rid of abortion. Most of the conservatives don't believe in getting rid of abortion either. They believe that women should have the proper health care they need to be able to take care of themselves. Most conservatives don't. It's not just liberals. Liberals definitely push forward more lax situations for women when it comes to this because of of their body. But it's just interesting the language that he uses. It just shows we get it. You're on the right. We get it. You're on the red team. We get it. Red team. We get it. You're on the red team, man. We get it. We get it.
Arresting criminals, but my side of the political aisle has been arguing to arrest and keep those criminals locked up for a very long time. And so there's very little we can do if the other side of the aisle won't work with us.
All right. Well, that's it. That's Michael Knowles for you. He's on the red team, but that's okay, man. We're gonna listen to both sides of the conversation, and I think no, I'll just leave it at that. You guys tell me in the comment section what you think about abortion. Peace.